Welcome back to another reaction, this time for Jujutsu Kaisen, episode 58, or season 3, episode 11. Right. Okay. I do like the idea that he has problems establishing his domain fully. So he's using the shadow of the building or this room to make it easier. It may also be a big bluff. Maybe he's still not able to do a barrier. Esoteric technique, hollow whisper. His origin of new shadow style is simple domain. Right. But the old domains were not really guaranteed kill, but guaranteed hit only. Why do we have this exposition in the fight? I personally don't care. The domain amplification used by Jogo and Hanami in Shibuya utilize the domain capable of harboring a guaranteed hit, guaranteed kill technique, and intentionally left out their curse techniques to leave space for Gojo's curse technique to flow into, neutralizing his limitless. Sure. No idea what you mean. We did something, we smart, we did something so you can't use your limitless. Gotcha. I mean, we don't know if Minamin has a barrier even erected. What did he do? Oh, this small receipt, okay. It's not imbued with a guaranteed hit technique. So the new domains are made with a guaranteed hit, guaranteed kill part, which makes them hard to master. Earlier versions were only with a guaranteed hit part, easier to master. A lot more people could do it. This one doesn't have either of those. I mean, why didn't we see stuff like this earlier? We know Skuna, his domain doesn't have a barrier. That is what makes it even stronger, because you can remove parts, make it essentially weaker to buff other parts, which is a neat concept. In this case, I see, hey, I'm erecting a domain. It doesn't have the guaranteed hit or guaranteed kill, making it easier to maintain, and it gives me a buff of my ability, which makes sense. But the question is, why don't we, or did we not see this used a lot more? I feel like there were a lot of people who have really strong techniques who could use this to further their ability, instead of always going for the insta-kill I win domain, which got countered like a bunch of times already.
でもそうはならないのが俺って感じだよな。
Now, a lot of action is going on. We are done with the exposition finally. Do not like that. In the middle of the fight. Do it after, do it before. Slow down the fight. Give us slow motion fight exposition, so we can concentrate on either one better, instead of having to split attention. I can rewind. If this was on TV, I would be so pissed. But I'm old. I would have liked, I mean, it makes sense. It's a shadow. He has shadow ability, shadow domain expansion. Totally makes sense. Not very good to have as a viewing experience, because it's dark and black. Now he, luckily, has a good contrast because of his white receipts. Good choice. However, Minamin doesn't really.
遅い。ああ、やっぱりね。さっきから足場にさ。
So he didn't really attack, so he only sent like shadows.
重力で強化してないと吸い込まれそうになってたんだ。この領域の下は全部君の影なんだろう。物を出し入れ、自分を出し入れ、便利だね。でも一つ気になっていた。
Does he have a problem because of the cast now, or?
武具のストックが少ない。俺はまだ真剣な呪具一つしか見てない。キャパが少なくて自分一人分の空きを常に確保しておく必要があるのか、それか影に格納したものの重さを自身で引き受けなきゃならない。
So the more stuff he sucks in, the harder it is for him to, I guess, move or whatever?
校舎でビンゴ。領域の使用を逆手に取っちゃったよ。乗用車3台分。君の今の重さはざっと 2.4 トン。分身は耐えられなかったみたいだけど、式神はまだ出せるのかな。どうあれ、俺は足元に気をつけながら、君が自重で潰れるまで重さを足し続ける。
Okay, seems like a big weak point. Now, couldn't he just release the domain? Could he just remove the cars again? Shouldn't be that easy. Additionally, I mean, this fight is going on. We also have the fight with Mr. Curse Dick. That also seems to be going on, and it probably is not as easy as we assumed it was the last time. Yes. Why don't you release the cars? You could theoretically have the cars flying from top to bottom the whole time. Like in Portal, in unlimited Portal thingy. This way you would only have a fraction of the weight on you at all times.
どっちが先に潰れるかな。レジ
The whole point... Now, I'm assuming the Shikigami don't work under the same rule, because he just now we found out, hey, if you suck up these cars, you are going to add the weight to yourself or part of it. But he has this elephant in him, in his shadows. I mean, he just summoned it out of shadows. Now, I assume they don't work the same way. He's not storing them in his shadow. He's more or less calling on them through his shadow. Normally. Maybe the wolf is in his shadow whenever he fights with him. Because that would add a lot of weight. Or he's just so buff that the elephant doesn't matter too much in weight. Or he can change the weight of his Shikigami as well. There are many things he could probably be doing. I'm assuming it doesn't really... It's not under the same rules as the cars. He just ingests. But also, why the other dude is being crushed, he's not adding new weight to you. So, again, this guy also. I still can't tell. Is he naked or not? Is that a uniform? There's a lot of stuff going on. Oh, 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 oh. Fuck's sake.
一般的に人間は5から 6G で失神すると言われている。
Shut up. I'm so done with the exposition.
2.4 トン。伏黒の体重を 60kg とすると、今彼には 40G の負荷がかかっている。高い G により血液が下肢に集中し、脳が虚血状態になるのを防ぐため、伏黒は姿勢を低くし、下半身を重点的に全身を重力で強化した。アフリカゾウの体
I mean, yeah, he can, if he has the ability to use stress energy, he could more or less squish his legs to stop as much blood from pooling in the legs.
体重は生体で3から6トン。領域による術式精度の上昇で、万象はその重さをリアルに再現しており、受け止めたレジスターの右ひこ。
So it gets heavier inside the domain. Interesting.
と小骨にはひびが入っている。両者ともに1秒後には圧殺されていてもおかしくない状況。
Yeah, the problem is one of them gets their bones broken, and the other one has the potential of falling unconscious.
にある。
I feel like there's a little bit of a difference here. しくらったな。トラックを取っておけば勝負はついていた。どうする？同時に多少水をかけられたが、とっておきは無事だ。一度影の中に入って内側からとっておきを再現。
He could slip into his shadow. Oh yeah, you were like, you reinforce your footing so you don't get sucked into it.
今度こそ奴を潰す。
I mean, what does that mean? A train, a plane, potentially? He already said that he should have kept his trucks in reserve. The bus. A lot of heavy stuff could be in there. A ship? Yeah. I feel like ships are lighter than they look, so.
いや、奴が領域を解かないということは、すでに取り込まれたものは領域解除後も中に取り残されるということ。奴が死んだ後、影の中に一生閉じ込められたら、そもそも影の中はどうなっている？液体のようだが、呼吸はできるのか？
I mean, solid questions.
浮力はダメだ。影に潜るのはリスクが高すぎる。このままこの状態でとっておきを取り出し発動する。再結晶。
By the way, he's holding up the elephant with one arm. I guess not anymore.
I 間に合わなかった。そしてやはり影の中には酸素がない。
I mean, you can still summon the thing? That was still one of your plans. What exactly broke? Was it his leg? I assume it would be his arm. Because the weight is distributed on both the legs, but you only held up the elephant on one arm. And I feel like your arm would just snap. Doesn't look snapped here though.
効力もない。ただ沈むだけ。もう意識が。
Why did he not summon his thing? That was his plan, right? To go into the shadow, summon his trump card. He doesn't know if he's going to die, but better risk it than slowly sinking.
まだ
Forever.
まだ耐えろ。あいつが確実に死んでから領域を解く。そうすれば影の中身を排出できる。
I guess he can't expel stuff while in the domain, okay? It should also be a lot easier now that he's on the ground to keep blood close to his brain. What?
俺が再現したものは与えられた命令を実行した後すぐに消滅する。沈めた車には命令を与えていない。消えてもらっちゃ困るからね。つまり命令する余地が残っていたんだ。俺を連れて上がってこいと。
Okay, and how?
1台分の重さが消えてしまったが。
How? No buoyancy, you know, the whole stuff, the whole shebang. You were unable to swim up. How is a car making you get out? This doesn't really make much sense. Did it drive or nothing?
おかげで助かった。
Is it just doing it because energy?
認めるよ。
Man, you know, for someone who's like, my trump card, blah, 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 he's not using his trump card at all.
お前は強い。だが俺は もっと強い最決勝
And if it's something really big, Minami can also just stop the domain. Because I feel like he weakened Receipt Guy enough to now fight him. It's a house. Fair enough. Fair enough.
建築面積40坪木造
Wooden frame structure, huh? I feel like they are not as heavy as you think
軸
they
組
are.
2階建てだ躯体だけでも30トンは下らない
Does it?
潰れちまえよ
And again, I mean, it's like, oh, if you take this hit straight up, you're going to die. How about I don't?
あー
Oh, it has a whole lot of stuff inside as well. Also, this, I feel like this is non-only wood.
「何が起こった?俺はまた影の中に落ちたのか?違う本物の水の中だなぜ
Again, he could have just released his domain also. He did say that the elephant could just use water. And if he gets stronger, he could have the whole domain underwater. And if it's all underwater, it's a lot easier to keep the home afloat, especially if it's out of wood. I do wonder how buoyant a house can be.
重い俺を締めているのはあのガキかなんて力だいや違う俺が足した車2台分の重さのせいかまずい今度こそ落ちる
Now the problem is he's also sinking.
再結晶を解除しなければ そうか
Where are we?
ここは総合体育館体育館の下、地下1階は温水プール影に逃げ込んでから領域を解き俺に床を破壊させプールに落としたのか
そんだけ濡れちまえばレシートは使えないな
I mean, you don't really know. Also, he could also be hiding receipts. Because if this is one of his weaknesses, fire probably another one, he probably make sure that some of them would be still usable.
すぐに追撃せず間を置いてきた領域で疲弊した術式を回復させたなさあどうかな
Also, the domain should not exhaust his abilities that much. At least not as much as sure hit, sure kill one.
君こそもう式神何も出せないんじゃない
Fashionable.
そうだな分かってんだろもうこっからは
使ってくる式神は犬以外のどれかどれも決め手には欠ける使って
Oh. Kann nur use lightning.
ってこいその瞬間緩んだお前をカウンターで仕留める
Also, we don't know if he unlocked another Shikigami at some point. I mean, we could just have a good old fist fight. Why not? Now this I like. What was that? Good boy. Good doggo. But I mean, this fight looks really solid again. I mean, look at it. Duck and weave. Nice little hits. Evading. Him running up, trying to get a nice kick, but having to stop before. I mean, they can animate, or what it means they nailed it with these fights. All the more or less standard fights, like these fist fights, they look really good. I really liked the fight against the hammer guy as well, because he used his hammers really in a very creative way. I feel like the show would shine even more if we got more of these fights.
玉剣はあの程度で動けなくなるほどヤバじゃない。
呪術師は嘘ついてなんぼ。
A little bit questionable that the receipt guy doesn't have more fallbacks. He had one capsule in his mouth he could use. Why not have more? Because you know that the receipts can't be used if they are wet. I'm assuming it's because they are made of water. Why not wax some of them, seal them in some kind of plastic? I'm assuming you can still use them then. Or how about you make them out of like flame resistant material? There are many things I feel like you should have done to remedy your weakness. Because you know this is your weakness. Getting wet or being set on fire. So reducing weaknesses in this way, I feel like should be one of your priorities. Maybe have like a little pill holder which has a bunch of little receipts. One of the holders is fire resistance, one is water, doesn't let water in. So you have something to use should you ever be in a situation like this. Which probably not the first time you would be defeated if you fought outside on a rainy day. It's like you should have some fallback, some more fallback. Again, we saw him use it once.
領域プール犬のカードはなくしたと思わせて伏せておく。やっぱり総合体育館には逃げ込んだんじゃなく誘ったんだな。
I don't really remember why he saw the dog can't be used, because it was injured. Was that the point? I mean, the assumption would be that the dog is going to heal slowly, but even if it's injured, it can still be used. But not for long, I assume.
現代の術師、しかもこんなガキ
A modern sorcerer,
ガキ
huh?
に出し抜かれるとはね。
逃げたくてもヌエは人を乗せて長くは飛べない。
Are you an older sorcerer or not? I can't really tell, because if you are, how did your ability work before? Because receipts probably were not around like 100 or 200 years ago.
長くは飛べない。前にそれで苦労したからな。お前、天元様とはどういう関係だ？
天元、ああ、そっか。そりゃ生きてるか。あの引きこもり。
They know Tengen, huh?
そうか。
So he is an older sorcerer. I have no idea how his ability worked before. Because again, receipts were not really a thing, I assume. Maybe they were. But a lot harder to use. I feel like his ability was not as strong as it is today, because, you know, these receipts are a lot easier to carry around than a bamboo roll.
もういい。天元様から消えた死滅回遊の目的をレジーはブラフと言った。天元様が賢弱と裏でつながっていて、嘘の目的を俺たちに流した可能性も考慮すべきだが。
Oh, never thought about that. That maybe Tengen is already under control of Kenjaku, or
ならそれは
they
ない
work
か。
together. It may also just be that Tengen is mistaken, and Kenjaku has different goals and plans.
小金、こいつに俺の点を全部やれ。
オッケー。レジスターから41ポイントが譲渡されました。
どういうつもりだ？
ずいぶんな物言いだな。今はの際の善行だぜ。俺はただの野じ馬さ。賢弱と仲良しこよしじゃない。こうした方が面白くなる予感。ただの勘だ。
Okay, fair enough.
頼むぜ。そんな俺を殺したんだ。お前は運命に翻弄され、道化となって死んでくれよ。
I mean, in his situation, it would maybe make sense. Be like, you defeated me. I'm going to give you my points because it's more or less a bet. Because if I am going to be known as the guy that got defeated by you, I want you to be the best, so that I don't feel as bad. I'm going to give you as much of a chance to be the winner of this competition as possible. It's a typical, like in sports, whenever you get defeated by a different team, that you hope they are going to be the winner of the whole tournament, so you can at least say, I got defeated by the winner, by the champion, and not by some team that got thrown out the next round.
5ポイントが追加されました。
It took so long for him to die, really? Okay. Is these two fight still?
やったか。
No.
油断するな。奴はしぶとい。
What the fuck?
奴はしぶとい。
He changed his outfit recreate.
なんだよなんでローションまみれなんだよ
Why?
あんかけかもよ。
うるせえ死ねってマジであんかけじゃねえかくそマジで何なんだこいつは何度
He's
も
playing
爆撃
around.
した5回は殺せてる手応えだ
So he is very resistant. It feels a little bit like Itadori, where superhuman abilities, but not necessarily a big technique.
なんでその程度で済んでる
あんかけ嫌い？
初めの傷も
So it is a suit.
初めの傷もいつの間にか治ってやがるだが俺のように反転術式を使った気配がない意味がわからね
風の木様、
えなんだ
レジースター様が
Why are you telling him?
お亡くなりになりました。がお亡くなり、風の木
Why are you
様、
making face?
なんだ
レジースター様がお亡くなりになりました。
お、どうした？
帰る
Why is the little thing telling him that's not part of your job, right?
やってられるか
そうか。風呂入れよ。歯磨けよ。ガッチポイントちょうだい。
ついてくんな
お願い。時そば的なノリでいいから。
死ね
高場の術式コメディアンは高場が受けると確信したイ
Okay, interesting.
メージを実現させる五条悟にも対抗できうる術式高場は自身の術式のことを何も知らない
See? You can do that. Nothing big is happening. It's easy to follow. You can have a little exposition. Fair enough. So whatever he thinks would be funny, that is going to happen. Now, he does not seem like the guy that finds death and bloodshed funny, meaning that there's probably not going to be a lot of death around him. Oh, she's still alive. She's dead, isn't she? She's going to die.
わかんないわかんない大人になるとわかんないことがいっぱい
Don't we all? For someone who got destroyed, he seems perfectly fine.
男は狼って聞いたことあるけどわかんないを何とかしてくれるのはいつも狼さ
Is it Minami?
んなんだって狼さんがやってくれるからレミは何にも考えなくていいのこれってレミが可愛いからだよね狼さんはいつだってダメだよめぐみ
It wouldn't really make sense for him to kill her. Right? I mean, that he even thought about it is stupid.
いいの
It would be, first off, again, he does not seem like she was in a fight. It would make more sense for him to threaten her, to tell her, hey, give me all your points, instead of killing her. Because there's still a difference of, I'm getting attacked, someone is threatening my life, I need to kill them, like the other two, and I'm just going to be a murder machine. Because this is more or less, I'm a murder machine, not someone is threatening my life. He's still most likely going to die.
クソ姉貴
Angel? Is this the one we are searching for? I do not remember. I mean, this one has angel wings, so I assume. Now, the one we are searching for, however, had the ability to negate abilities or something like that. So I don't know how helpful their involvement is going to be in healing Minami.
仙台コロニーの展開は早く、東京コロニーのそれをはるかに凌駕し、
So I'm assuming we are looking at or watching some of the other people
苛
fight
烈
now?
を極めた。
I mean, some of the other of our group.
ドルーブ・ラクダワラ、所持ポイント91点。
I'm not going to remember that name.
2度目の12区。和国大乱にて単独での列島制圧を成し遂げた宿老。自立型の種の式神、その式神の奇跡を自らの領域。
Two autonomous Shikigami, and the orbit of those determines his domain. Is that his?
石郡龍、所持ポイント77点。プレイヤー1の呪力出力を誇る大砲。
Okay.
うろたか
I didn't want to know what he does anyway.
所持ポイント70点。元当主直属暗殺部隊実月精神体
So she's laying on some kind of fog?
隊長。空を操
Eh.
る術式。
Because that is a technique that allows her to manipulate the sky, in quotation. So, oh, what is your ability? This. Everything that is considered sky. Which I saw it for a moment. This is not free run. There probably is like a cutoff. Or is it similar to free run where it's like what you believe the sky is what you can manipulate? Because the sky is pretty vague.
を持つ黒漆
Looks like a cockroach.
所持ポイント54点。賢弱が呪霊操術のコントロールから外したゴキブリ呪霊。等級は
From the control of cursed spirit manipulation. So Kenjaku is the one that has or Geto had this ability, right? Control cursed spirits, thing, whatever. And Kenjaku has now the ability, so he was like, hey, this one, pretty solid, go do your thing. Along those lines?
等級は特級。
Yeah, they are all ranked as special grade. And special grade doesn't have a real definition, so they're all as OP or stupid as we need them to be.
登録済み。導入条件の消失まで休眠中。同盟はなく、拮抗した実力と錯雑した相性による三
So these are the two Shikigamis, I guess?
三すくみの四つどもえ。
Four-way stalemate. The cockroach that is not part of the fight at all because it only activates whenever certain conditions are met, is not part of the stalemate.
だが、その一角が 落ちる。乙骨雄太所持ポイント35点。
I mean, he was or is pretty much OP, right? He's super strong. He's able to copy curse techniques, and he still has his ghost girlfriend.
百鬼夜行を3ヶ月で特級術師へと返り咲いた五条悟に次ぐ現代の異能。
I don't like this. I don't like this whole, oh, we have so many Gojos running around. Everyone is a Gojo. Oh, everyone can rival a Gojo. How about we don't? Gojo should be special. And whenever we free him, he should be able to destroy stuff. That is the whole point, the whole hey, that is why we imprisoned him. So he can't do that now. But as soon as he comes out, he should be able to clean house. No one should be able to touch him, really. Now, the comedian, I can see that happening because, you know, he's not really able to defeat Gojo, but Gojo can't really touch him because it would not be as comedic. This I can see, but Yuta is like, he's a killing machine. I don't like that we get so many that are getting as strong as Gojo. At least not now. Do it after we free Gojo. Gojo runs rampant. We see the big, ooh, awesome. And then we can get people that are going to be stronger. Now, granted, Yuta already before was seen as super strong. So, understandable that he could rival him with a little bit more training and stuff. But again, I hope we don't throw this around too much. Let Gojo be special.